Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ralf Rangnick has been informed that 17 of his Manchester United players are unhappy at the club after face-to-face talks. Now we've got Dean Henderson. He's unhappy at Manchester United. There's a good chance that Dean Henderson will leave the club this year. Henderson doesn't get in goal much because revert back to last summer, David De Gea reclaimed the number one spot back. Henderson has only made 2 appearances this season. Earlier on this season he was out with COVID for a while. Towards the end of last season he got the number 1 jersey. And he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Henderson regrets signing a new long-term contract. Was it before the start of last season he signed a 5-year contract with Man United with an option of a 6th year. Henderson has got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. Towards the end of last year, Ralf Rangnick told Dean Henderson he cannot leave Man United on loan this month. Eric Bailly, he's also unhappy at the club. Bailly doesn't get in the team much. Bailly lost his place in the team a while ago, obviously with the club signing Varane last year, and Lindelof's been preferred to Bailly. Don't ask me why, because Bailly is a far superior centre-half to Lindelof. Bailly went off injured in the 3-1 win against Burnley last Thursday night. He is injury prone, is Bailly, which is a concern. Towards the end of last season he signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Manchester United got Bailly from Villarreal back in 2016 for 30 million. There's a good chance Bailly will leave the club this year. Donny Van Der Beek, he's also unhappy at Manchester United. Donny Van Der Beek is not getting enough opportunities. When we brought Ralf Rangnick in, I thought Donny Van Der Beek was going to get the opportunities he was demanding under Solskjaer, but obviously he hasn't. Donny Van Der Beek wants to leave Man United this month. Recently Van Der Beek held talks with Ralf Rangnick to discuss his future. It did mention that Van Der Beek is unable to leave Man United this month due to a bust-up with his agent. Bayern Munich are no longer in for him. Last summer, Van Der Beek was close to joining Everton. Van Der Beek has only managed to score 2 goals for the club. He's been at Manchester United for over a year and a half. This season's been his 2nd full season at Man United. Man United got Van Der Beek for 40 million with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Phil Jones, I think he will depart the club this year. Phil Jones doesn't really get in the team. Phil Jones played against Wolves on Monday night. That was his first Premier League appearance since January 2020. Jones was our best player against Wolves. He brought the ball out well from the back. Defensively he was good and he made some good blocks and some good clearances. The reason Jones played against Wolves is because Harry Maguire picked up an injury. Did you know that Jones is only the outfield player that's still with us from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Jones has been a long-serving player at Man United this season. Is his 11th season at the club. Manchester United did get Phil Jones from Blackburn. Matic, he will be leaving the club this year. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his opportunities. Matic is the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got. But I've always had my reservations about him because he's always been a static midfielder and he's ageing up. Matic has been at Man United for around 5 years. Manchester United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017 for 40 million. Jesse Lingard, he's out of contract in the summer. He'll be leaving Manchester United this year. West Ham want to re-sign Lingard. At the second half of last season, he endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Newcastle were in for him last year, and earlier on this season Lingard was interested in going abroad. Revert back towards the end of last year though, it said Lingard will stay at Man United this month to fight for his place under Rangnick, but Lingard doesn't get in the team. Juan Mata, there's a good chance that he'll be leaving Manchester United in this January transfer window. Mata, I think, could go back to Spain or he may go to the MLS. Juan Mata doesn't really get in our team. Plus he's ageing up and he's lost that yard of pace. But despite that, he's had a good career at Manchester United. He's made over 200 appearances in all competitions and he's scored over 50 goals. Juan Mata has been at Manchester United for 8 years, so he's been a long-serving player. We got him from Chelsea back in 2014 for 40 million. Anthony Martial, he'll be leaving this year. There's a good chance he'll be leaving in this January transfer window. Now, recently there has been talks of an Ousmane Dembele and Anthony Martial swap deal. It's Sevilla that want Martial. If Sevilla can improve their loan offer, there's a good chance they'll get him, because towards the end of last year, Manchester United rejected a loan offer from Sevilla for Martial. Ralph Rangnick confirmed that Martial wants to leave Manchester United because Martial held talks with Rangnick over his future. And last year, Martial's agent confirmed that Martial wants to leave Manchester United this month. Last year, we set a 30 million asking price on Martial, but we won't get £30 million for him. Martial's demanding more game time. He's getting nowhere near enough game time at Manchester United. Manchester United paid an initial fee of 36 million for Martial from Monaco back in 2015. He's been at the club for 7 years. He's under contract with Man United until 2024. He's scored 79 goals in 268 games in all competitions. He's no longer good enough to represent the club. The best season Martial has enjoyed at Man United was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. He was pretty good last season as well. Edison Cavani, he'll be leaving in the summer. He won't be leaving in this January transfer window. Prior to the Wolves game, Rangnick said in his press conference that he desperately wants Edison Cavani to stay at Manchester United until the end of the season. Cavani's contract at Man United expires in the summer. Barcelona have been linked with Cavani. Last year it said that Cavani agreed to join Barcelona on an 18-month contract. Barcelona has seen him as a replacement for Aguero because Aguero retired due to heart problems. Barcelona recently signed Ferran Torres from Man City. Juventus have also been linked with Cavani. and last year Cavani rejected a move to Boca Juniors. Manchester United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Cavani come back from injury not so long ago. Man United will loan Amad Diallo out this month. Diego Dalor, I think he'll be leaving the club this year. Diego Dalor's played quite a few games under Rangnick, and to be fair, he has been quite impressive. Has missed the last 2 games because Bissaka's started the last 2 games. Last season, Dalor was out on loan with AC Milan, so reflecting on that, he gained some experience. Man United got Dalor from Porto for around £19 million. Alex Telleza, do you think he'll be leaving the club this year? Paul Pogba, he's staying at Manchester United until the end of the season. Towards the end of last year, it said that Man United are not negotiating a Paul Pogba transfer this month, so Man United expect Pogba to stay in this January transfer window, despite the midfielder nearing the end of his contract. His contract at Man United expires in the summer. Revert back to the start of the season, he rejected a new Man United contract offer. Pogba is out with a muscle injury at the moment. He's been out with that muscle injury for a while. He got the injury in France training earlier on in the season. But the good news is, from Man United perspective, that Pogba is close to returning. So, there you go. Ralph Rangnick has been told that transfer funds are available this month. So Rangnick will be backed by the Glazers this month. The club are dealing with the dressing room crisis. By the way, Richard Arnold will become Manchester United's chief executive on the 1st of February to replace Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward is stepping down at the end of this month. Ed Woodward has been at Manchester United for around 17 years. So I just wanted to confirm that with you. But revert back to Ralph Rangnick. He's been Manchester United's interim manager for over a month now. He's Man United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then after that, it did say that Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. But Rangnick got warned that he could lose the consultancy role if he fails to get Manchester United into the Champions League. Manchester United recently lost 1-0 to Wolves. It was Ralph Rangnick's first defeat as Manchester United manager, and it was the first time Wolves won at Old Trafford in the league since 1980. It was a very poor performance against Wolves. I don't think Ralph Rangnick will get the Man United job on a permanent basis unless he can turn things around. I'm hoping Rangnick can win a trophy this season at Man United. Man United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. You know, before Man United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. But, you know, the poor performances under Rangnick, I've got to say Rangnick is blameless. You know, the players have to take responsibility for those poor performances, and the players are the biggest problem at Manchester United at this moment in time. Rangnick, you know, has made changes since he got recommended in. He's brought 3 additions to the club because earlier on this season he brought Ewan Sharp in as an assistant coach and analyst. He also brought Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he brought Saz Challens in as a sports psychologist. When Ralph Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. Rangnick wants a centre defensive midfielder, he's made that clear. Now, there's a lot of players that Manchester United are linked with. Now, you know the news on Julian Alvarez. It's recently said that Julian Alvarez is set to join Man United after Rangnick held talks with the player's agent this week. So Julian Alvarez is set to become the first signing of the Ralph Rangnick era. Manchester United are prepared to pay the £17 million release clause to sign Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez is at River Plate. He's been at River Plate for a long time, raising up their academy now. He's mainly a forward. He can also be deployed as a winger. He's only the age of 21. Man United have also been linked with Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona. I don't want Ousmane Dembele at Man United because he's too injury prone. Yesterday I gave you the news on Reuben Neves. He says Manchester United are interested in Reuben Neves from Wolves, and it says Man United are leading the chase for Reuben Neves. Man United could bid around 35 million this month. Wolves are demanding around 50 million. Manchester United have already held talks with Ruben Neves' agent George Mendes. I'm hearing that Ruben Neves is ready to move on from Wolves, as he's eager to show his skills at a bigger club. Ruben Neves played against Man United on Monday night, and what a good performance he put out. Don't forget he had that good chance from that volley, produced a good save from De Gea. Ruben Neves has been at Wolves for around 5 years. He's got a contract with Wolves till 2024. Wolves got him from Porto. They paid around 15.8 million. He's made 167 appearances in the Premier League for Wolves, and he's scored around 18 goals. He is a midfielder. He's only the age of 24. Boubacar Kamara has also been a target for Man United. Sky Sports have said that. You know, Amadou Aidara, Man United have also been linked with him. You know, towards the end of last year, we inquired about Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. He's rated at around £60 million. Earlier on this season, Man United were interested in Rudiger from Chelsea. We also inquired about Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. You know, if Man United make a signing, I think it will be only one signing. You know, we'll sign more players in the summer than this January transfer window. There will be more outgoings this month than incomings, I can assure that. In the summer, I can assure that Manchester United will appoint a permanent manager. Man United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson already. And Man United are not even really known as a sacking football club, but the managers we sacked David Moyes after 10 months. Manchester United finished 7th under the David Moyes era. Then Manchester United sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite us winning the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho enjoyed one good season at Man United because he won 3 trophies in his first season. And last year, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer following the 4-1 defeat to Watford. You know, when Solskjaer officially got sacked, if you do remember, he got emotional in a farewell interview, which of course is understandable, because Solskjaer adores the club and he was part of the club for a long time. You know, Solskjaer was Manchester United manager for almost 3 years, and he enjoyed 11 years as a player for Man United, so that's almost 14 years in total. You know, Solskjaer is a legend of Manchester United and he always will be a legend. That's what got mentioned on the statement when he officially got sacked. You know, Manchester United paid Solskjaer around $7.5 million to sack him because, revert back to last year, he signed a new contract with the club until 2024. There was an option of a further year. And Manchester United made a mistake giving him that contract because we knew for a long time that he wasn't the long-term manager for Man United. Solskjaer has no proven pedigree, does he, as a manager? The clubs he's managed in his managerial career, he managed Man United's reserve team for a couple of years, so he watched some of this team grow and develop. Then obviously he managed Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was terrible. The reason he got sacked from Cardiff is because he got them relegated. He enjoyed 2 spells at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles with them, but they're not a big club, and of course he managed Manchester United's senior squad. Solskjaer had a proven pedigree as a player for Man United because he won a lot of trophies as a player. And as a player, Solskjaer made 366 appearances and scored 126 goals. His most iconic moment as a player was when he scored the winning goal in the Champions League final at the Nou Camp back in 1999, because Solskjaer won the club the treble, and that is the club's greatest achievement. But, you know, revert back to the last few months of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure. The performances were terrible and the results were terrible to go with the terrible performances. But reflecting on that, not all of the blame stemmed from Solskjaer. Yes, he was partly to blame because his tactics and his team selections and that were questioned a lot, but there was also players that had to take responsibility for those poor performances as well. You know, Solskjaer did get appointed in as the interim manager back in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He was Manchester United's interim manager for 3 months. He did well as the interim manager, so the club decided to give him the job on a permanent basis back in March 2019. Ollie knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, not only a massive job, a difficult job as well, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin, because he was managing one of the biggest clubs in the world. You know, when Solskjaer was Manchester United manager, he signed around 14 players. Manchester United spent over £400 million under Ollie. Ollie must have enjoyed like 5 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. When Ollie was United manager as well, he got rid of a lot of players. You know, he got rid of players permanently, loaned players out. In his first full season at Man United, he got Man United to 3 semi-finals and a 3rd place finish. In his second full season, which was last season, he got Man United to the Carabao Cup semi-final, the FA Cup quarter-final and the Europa League final. And when Solskjaer was Man United manager, that was his first major final as manager, but unfortunately he didn't win it. Last season got us a 2nd place finish, and don't forget Manchester United went 29 games unbeaten away from home in the Premier League under Solskjaer. But, you know, nothing's changed since we've sacked Solskjaer. In fact, nothing's changed in the last 8 years, even though we've sacked 4 permanent managers. You know, we're never going to be the team we was under Ferguson, so in that aspect, Man United have got to accept that. You know, Alex Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. You know, Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. So it does take some managers time to settle in. Alex Ferguson was at Manchester United for around 26 years, so he was a very long-serving manager. Told you, the only mistake Ferguson made was recommending David Moyes in when he retired, but the reason he did that is because they're both Scottish and Ferguson had a lot of time for Moyes. Manchester United have spent a lot of money in the last 8 years or so. We must have spent over £1 billion. We've brought over 40 odd players in since Ferguson retired. Obviously Rangnick, he's inheriting, you know, Deadwood, you know. We've got just Jones and De Gea, from the Ferguson era. There's still Matt here from the Moyes era, Rangnick's inheriting. There's still some players here from the Louis van Gaal era. There's still players here from the Mourinho era. And there's obviously players here that Solskjaer brought in that Rangnick's inheriting. So there you go. Manchester United do play Aston Villa in the FA Cup third round at Old Trafford. It's Monday night, the 10th of January. It's a 5 to 8 kick-off at Old Trafford. The preview for that game will be coming up tomorrow at some point. Manchester United are going into the game against Aston Villa on the back of a 1-0 defeat to Wolves. It's going to be a tough game against Aston Villa because Aston Villa have been impressive under Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard has enjoyed a good start to his managerial career at Aston Villa. When Steven Gerrard got appointed in, he signed a 3.5-year contract at Aston Villa, so he's under contract with Aston Villa until 2024. Before Aston Villa, he managed Rangers. He did well at Rangers because he won the Scottish Premiership with them, and before Rangers, he managed Liverpool's under-18s. Before Steven Gerrard, Aston Villa had Dean Smith. They did sack Dean Smith earlier on this season. Dean Smith is obviously now the Norwich City manager. And like I said, Aston Villa have got some good players in their team that can cause Manchester United problems on Monday. Obviously, one of the best players Villa have got, that's Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins is not available at the moment because he's out with COVID. Ollie Watkins is a former Brentford player. Villa have also got Danny Ings. Danny Ings has made an impact. Aston Villa got Danny Ings from Southampton. He was also good at Southampton as well. Villa have also got Leon Bailey. He's made an impact. Villa got Leon Bailey from Bayer Leverkusen. Leon Bailey is injured at the moment. They've got Trezeguet, that's good. I think he's on international duty at the moment. They've got Anwar El Ghazi, that's also a good attacking player. They've got Bertrand Traore. I think is on international duty at the moment. They've got some good midfielders as well of Villa. They've got John McGinn, that's good. I think John McGinn is suspended for the league game against us. Man United have been linked with John McGinn, by the way. Villa have also got Douglas Luiz, that's a good midfielder. They've got Jacob Ramsey. They've also got Morgan Sanson. They've got Ezri Konsa. I think he's a defender, Konsa. They've got Courtney Hawes. They've got Tyrone Mings. Tyrone Mings is a very good centre-half. Manchester United were linked with him a while ago. They've also got Matt Targett, Matty Cash. Villa have also got Buendia. They got him from Norwich. They've got Ashley Young. Ashley Young's out with a toe injury at the moment. Ashley Young's a former Manchester United player. Ashley Young was at Manchester United for around 8.5 years, so he was a long-serving player at us. And one of the goalkeepers Villa have got is Martinez. So yeah, next week we play Villa twice within a week. You know, we play him on Monday the 10th of January in the Cup, and then we play him Saturday the 15th of January in the League. Villa won at Old Trafford in the League earlier on this season, 1-0. That was the first time Aston Villa won at Old Trafford since 2009. And Man United are missing some players. Maguire is out with injury at the moment. Bailly's injured. Lindelof's still got COVID. Martial's injured, but he doesn't really get in the team anyway. Pogba's still out with that muscle injury. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.